Good day, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the mythology, the Greek, Titans, Olympics, Zeus' wives and children, demigods, and under Roman, the Saturn, Jupiter, the lesser gods, and the Norse mythology, Odin, his children, and the lesser gods. Greek mythology. Let us define first what is Greek mythology. Greek mythology, a body of stories concerning the gods, heroes, and rituals of the ancient Greeks. Greek mythology has subsequently had extensive influence on the arts and literature of Western civilization. Titans. In Greek mythology, a Titan is any of Uranus or heaven and Gaia's earth children, as well as their descendants, the brothers Oceanus, Chaos, Crius, Hyperion, Iapetus, and Cronus, as well as the sisters Theia, Rhea, Themis, Mnemosyne, Phoebe, and Thetis. The images here are the 12 Titans. Olympics. The ancient Olympic Games were primarily a part of a religious festival in honor of Zeus, the father of the Greek gods and goddesses. The festival and the games were held in Olympia. Mount Olympus is a mountain in northern Greece located on the border between Macedonia and Thessaly. It is the tallest mountain in Greece. In Greek mythology, Mount Olympus was the home of the Greek pantheon of Greek gods and goddesses, the 12 Olympian deities. Now let us proceed to the Zeus' wives and children. Zeus has been widely known as one of the most infamous lovers in Greek mythology. Zeus was married to numerous women in the course of his kingship as the ruler of the skies. These women were immortal in nature, and they first make their appearance in Hesiod's work, the Theogony, in which the poet presents in detail the genealogy of the gods, although in Hera, Zeus' sister, is the most famous of them all. Many other goddesses and titanesses had the fortune to stand by the side of Zeus on the top of Mount Olympus. Zeus and Hera. Hera is Zeus' wife, a queen of Greek gods and goddesses. ERIS is the god of battle and war. Erectheus is the goddess of women in childbirth. Ares is the goddess of discord. Hebe is the goddess of youth. Hephaestus is the god of blacksmiths and fire. Angelus, the goddess of the underworld. Zeus and Leto and their children are Apollo and Artemis. Apollo is the god of the sun. Artemis is the goddess of the moon. Zeus and Maia, and their child is Hermes. Hermes is the god of boundaries and acts as the messenger of God. Zeus and Metis, and their child is Athena. Athena is the goddess of wisdom and strategy. Zeus and Demeter, their child is Persephone. Persephone is the queen of the underworld. Zeus and Dione, and their child is Aphrodite. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty. Zeus and Laodamia, and their child is Sarpedon. Sarpedon, different from the son of Europa, was a mortal king. Zeus and Leda, and their child is Pollux. Pollux is immortal and is the twin brother of the mortal Castor, who had a different father. Let us proceed to demigod. A demigod is a term used in Greek mythology to describe a person with one divine parent and one human parent. The divine parent was not necessarily a major Olympian god, but could be a lesser one, such as a nymph. These demigods were thought to have special abilities far beyond that of mere mortals. Consequently, many of the demigods of Greek myth were considered heroes in one way or another. Their stories have influenced countless generations of real figures and societies. Greek mythology demigods. Asclepius is the son of Coroneus of Lapis and Apollo. Achilles is the greatest warrior among the Greeks and Troy and slayer of Hector. Perseus is the son of Zeus and Danae and a slayer of Medusa. Harmonia is the immortal goddess of harmony and concord, a legendary ancient Greek hero most famous for defeating the Minotaur in the labyrinth of Crete. Hercules is a mythical Greek hero renowned for his great strength and especially for performing 12 labors imposed on him by Hera. Aeacus is a son of Zeus who is given by the Myrmidons as a followers and becomes on his death as judge of the underworld. Aeneas is a Trojan hero, the reputed ancestor of the Romans, protagonist of the Aeneid. Boreas is the Greek god of the north wind. Dardanus is the ancestor of the Trojans. Amphion is a musician of Greek mythology who built the walls of Thebes by charming the stones into place with his lyre. Epipus means touch. This refers to the manner in which he conceived by the touch of Zeus' hand. Tityos, the son of Elara, his father was Zeus. Tantalus is a figure from Greek mythology who was the rich but wicked king of Sipylus. Orion in Greek mythology, a giant and very handsome hunter who was identified as early as Homer. Memnon, a king of Ethiopia and son of Tithonus and Aeneas. As a warrior, he was considered to be almost Achilles, equal in skill. King of Sparta and husband of Leda in Greek mythology. Tithonus in Greek legend, son of Laomedon, king of Troy and of Strymo, daughter of the river Scamander. Semele, a daughter of Cadmus, consumed by flames when visited by Zeus in his divine splendor. Rhadamanthus, a judge of the underworld, was the name of an archaic king of Athens, the founder of the polis, and, in his role as god, attached to Poseidon as Poseidon Erectheus. Surya, the god of the sun. In Roman mythology, Roman mythology is a collection of traditional stories, beliefs, and rituals that Romans used to describe the origin of Roman civilization, culture, history, and religion. Romans believed these stories to be true despite many supernatural events described in them. The religious part of Roman mythology is heavily inspired from Greek mythology. So Saturn, in Roman mythology, Saturn is the Roman god of agriculture, sowing, harvest, and seeds. Interpreted as the most complex deity in Roman religion, Saturn is also perceived as the god of wealth and abundance. The sixth furthest planet from Earth is also called Sun, and is the planet that takes the longest amount of time to complete a single orbit. It is speculated broadly that this planet was named after the god Saturn due to his relation to the Greek god Kronos, the god of time. What is the characteristics of Saturn? Characteristics of Saturn is he is often depicted as an older man with a long, white beard and curly hair. In some depictions, Saturn has wings. He is portrayed as strong, muscular, and veiled. Jupiter. In terms of Roman mythology, the god Jupiter is the king. In fact, he is often referred to as the king of the gods. He may not be original creator of the mythological creatures that dominated tales and lore. The distinction belongs to his father Saturn, but Jupiter is the main man, a la Zeus in Greek mythology. Mythology dominated religious culture in Rome up until the point which Christianity took over. Until that happened, Jupiter was the main deity. He was the god of the sky and, along with the help of the kings of the time, established principles of the Roman religion. Who are the lesser gods of the Roman mythology? In Roman mythology, the lesser gods, there are a number of lesser gods, all with temples built to them: Apollo, Diana, Saturn, Venus, Vulcan, and Janus. Apollo had no Roman equal, and he was simply the Greek god of poetry, medicine, music, and science. He was originally brought to the city by the Etruscans to ward off the plague and was rewarded with a temple of Palatine Hill. Diana, Apollo's Roman sister, equivalent to the Greek Artemis, was not only the goddess of wild beasts and the harvest moon, but also the goddess of the hunt. She was seen as a protector of women in childbirth with a temple at Ephesus in Asia Minor. The Norse mythology. The next mythology we are going to talk about the Norse mythology. What is Norse mythology? The Norse mythology, or Scandinavian mythology, is the body of mythology of the North Germanic people stemming from Norse paganism and continuing after the Christianization of Scandinavia and into Scandinavian folklore of the modern period. Norse mythology is a part of an organized and ancient indigenous religion practiced by the Germanic peoples of Europe. Those tribes in Central and Northern Europe united by similar languages and religious practices. This belief system was the most predominant in the centuries before the Middle Ages, when Christianity became the prevailing religion. The stories of Norse mythology, like the stories of any religion, were used by believers to help to organize, to understand the world, to have a better comprehension about the world. The characters in those stories are the gods, living, breathing deities that were a major part of life along the northern Germanic peoples. Odin. Who is Odin in Norse mythology? He is described as an immensely wise, one-eyed old man. Odin has by far the most varied characteristic of any of the gods, and is not only the deity to call upon when war was being prepared, but is also the god of poetry, of the dead, of the runes, and of the magic. This image here is an image of Odin. Odin's children. The children of Odin. Baldur was the son of Frigg. He is a sailor who captained the greatest boat ever built. He was known as bright, glorious, and good, but his most famous story unfortunately involves his death. Semele, favored brother of Thor. Though his mother was unclear, he was very similar to Baldur, and some sources even attest him that they were the same person. Daughter of a giant named Grither, known as the brightest of all gods, known as the blind archer. Value was the Odin's son by the giantess Rindr. He was conceived and grew to adulthood in the same day, born only to avenge Baldur. He was a skald and a god of poetry and song. Thor, the god of thunder. His name meant werewolf, the messenger of the gods. Violent and temperamental, and once found himself exiled for murder. The son of Odin, that's the legendary kings of the Danes, Odin gifted unto him Denmark, over which he ruled for many years. Bravest of the gods sacrificed his hand to restrain the monstrous Fenrir. First, the lesser gods. Delling or the Delling means the day, spring, or the shining one. Delling is the god of sunrise. Delling has been married to the Jotun woman Nat. Together they have a son named Day. Honir is a very long legs. Honir is tall and beautiful. He has a brother named Udin. He went to the Vanir as a hostage to seal truce as Vanir and war. Honor is very indecisive and relies on Mimir for all his decisions, granting non-committal answers when Mimir was